Ignore the noise in politics, because the loudest thing in politics is usually not the most important thing. The noise is about who said what, who met whom, who will form the next move, who will create the next game, who will be brought back, who will be punished. But behind all that night, something much bigger is happening. Welcome to Fourth Floor Post English. The world has moved, and once the world moves, local power structures cannot remain frozen forever. For instance, for years, Pakistan's system operated on one assumption, that the world would remain broadly same. America would remain central power, the Middle East would remain manageable through the Washington, China would remain economically important but politically cautious, Iran would remain under pressure, and Pakistan's internal politics could be controlled through the same old formula of pressure, cases, alliances, engineering, and fear. That assumption is now breaking. America is still powerful. Nobody is serious enough to say or deny that. But power is not only about weapons, sanctions, or money. Power comes from functioning system. When the system begins to crack, power also begins to lose direction. That is exactly what we are seeing with America. It has military power, it has diplomatic power, it has financial power, but it is now struggling to preserve relevance in a region it once controlled almost completely. Iran, on the other hand, was sanctioned, isolated, attacked, and pressured. Yet today, Iran is not behaving like a defeated country. It is negotiating from strength. It is hardballing America. It is setting conditions. It is influencing Lebanon, Iraq, Syria, Yemen, and the Gulf equation. And most importantly, America is now trying to talk to Iran directly, one-on-one. The old American order in the Middle East is definitely cracking. The new regional order has not fully formed yet. That gap is where the danger is, and that gap is also where the opportunity exists for the countries like Pakistan. See, Israel understands this. That is why Israel is restless. For decades, Israel's strategic confidence came from one belief: America will ultimately stand behind it, whatever happens. But now America is not acting like a power that can afford unlimited war. America wants exits. America wants arrangements. America wants damage control. Israel wants disruption because disruption keeps its leverage alive. But even here, the equation has changed. If Iran threatens Israel through Lebanon, America does not respond with the same old automatic aggression. If Hezbollah remains a factor, America tries to convert the issue into Lebanese-Israeli internal matter. If Israel refuses to adjust, then America itself begins to feel the burden. That is why the coming regional bloc matters. Saudi Arabia, Qatar, Egypt, and the others, such as Turkey, are not just watching, they are recalculating. UAE may remain trapped in an old America, Israel, India format, but the rest of the Arab world is moving differently. This is not yet a formal Islamic bloc, but the direction is visible. And this is where Pakistan enters. Pakistan has suddenly become relevant again. But we must be very careful here. Pakistan's relevance is not because our internal system is strong. Pakistan's relevance is because the external map is changing. China needs a route. China needs stability. China needs to manage Afghanistan through us. The Gulf needs guarantees. America needs temporary bridge. And Pakistan sits at the intersection of all these routes. But temporary relevance is not the same as strategic strength. This is where Pakistan's system is making the biggest mistake. If it thinks because the world needs Pakistan, the world will also accept Pakistan's internal rigidity. That is not how the world or the new world will work. A country can only convert strategic location into economic and diplomatic benefit when its internal system is functionable, flexible, and credible. Pakistan has location. Pakistan has military importance. Pakistan has China. Pakistan has access to Iran. Pakistan has Gwadar. Pakistan has CPEC routes. Pakistan has possibility of the cheaper Iranian energy, gas, oil, regional trade, barter trades, new economic corridors. inroads to Middle East, like a defense pact to Saudi Arabia. But Pakistan has also political instability, provincial mistrusts, Balochistan alienation, this Kashmir unrest, economic exhaustion, and a governance model that treats every disagreement as a rebellion. That contradiction cannot continue forever. This is why the idea of hard state is so dangerous. State can be firm, state can enforce law, states can defend sovereignty, but states can not become rigid to the point where the law is replaced by mood, policy is replaced by ego, and national interest is replaced by personal control. A rigid state is not a strong state. A strong state absorbs pressure. A rigid state cracks under pressure. And Pakistan is already showing those cracks. Look at Balochistan. If every voice from Balochistan is treated as a proxy, then what opinion are we leaving for political engagement? If someone like Marang Baloch, the girl who comes to Islamabad, speaks within the framework of Pakistan, still gets treated as an enemy, then we are not solving the separatist problem, we are just feeding it. Now look at the Azad Kashmir. The issue there should have been handled through dialogue, respect, political sense. Instead, the attitude again looked like, how dare they tell us what to do? This is exactly like how hard state mindset work. Even if the people are right, the state refuses to listen because listening appears like being weak. And then Khwaja Asif's comment about Kashmiris and then their identity makes things much worse. The issue is not whether someone is Kashmiri, Potwari, Punjabi speaking or anything else. The issue is that when people protest, you cannot attack their identity to delegitimize their demand. That creates resentment. And in Kashmir, resentment does not stay local. It travels globally through diaspora, through India, through Israel now, through every diplomatic opening. This is why the Kashmir situation is not small. It exposes the same central problem. Pakistan's power structure still thinks dissent from the periphery is disloyalty. The same mindset appears in the water politics too. When India creates pressures on rivers, Pakistan should respond firmly under international agreements and strategic pressure diplomatically, but they start to respond internally. The danger is India's aggression, but it turns to justify all the water decisions in Pakistan against the smaller province. See, the external threat becomes internal weapon. Now, this is the larger pattern. Every external crisis becomes more dangerous when the internal system lacks trust. And this brings us to Imran Khan. See, people keep asking, will the government go? How will it go? How will it replace? Who will it replace? But this is this wrong question. The real question is not whether the government survives. The real question is whether the system that created this government can survive in the same shape. If Khan is brought into some arrangements, it will not simply hurt the government, it will hurt the current governance model. Because the entire model was built on excluding him, crushing his party, forcing everyone else to accept the arrangement as permanent. But in Pakistan, every system calls itself permanent until the next arrangement proves it's temporary. Under one setup, Nawaz Sharif had no space. Then the system changed. Under another setup, Imran Khan had all the space. Then the system changed. Today they say Khan has no space. But the world around Pakistan has changed, economy has changed, the pressure has changed, the system itself has fewer cushions left. That is why meetings with Khan and the normalization and the flexibility matters, because whether it's Achak Zai, Barrister Goer, Barrister Saif, General Khiani or anyone else, the important thing is not one meeting. The important thing is repetition. If meetings happen again and again, it means movement has started. The first offer may not be real deal. It may simply be an attempt to make Khan accept the existing power structure, stay quiet for system and endorse the same system that damaged him. That is the old deal. But even if Khan refuses this deal, the window does not close, because this time the pressure is not only about Trump, America or one election cycle. This time the pressure comes from multiple directions. Global realignment, Iran's rise, America's weakness, China's regional strategy, economic collapse, Kashmir, Balochistan, political tensions, and the exhaustion of establishment itself. That is why the flexibility is no longer optional. The establishment may want all the parties to sit together only to endorse the existing hard state model. But the moment real flexibility begins, nobody can fully control where it ends. And that is why the system fears even the small openings. But water has already entered the cracks. People's Party understands this better than Pakistan Muslim League Noon. Pakistan Muslim League Noon survives on preferences and protections of a people. Pakistan People's Party survives on leverage. And right now, Pakistan People's Party's biggest possible leverage is to play a role in creating political space for Khan establishment, and understanding happens somewhere within that. If that happens, Pakistan People's Party may not suffer. But if that doesn't happen, and if the deal directly happens with Khan, then the Pakistan People's Party suffers the most. That's why the Bilawal comes and gives the role to Maulana Fazlur Rahman to lead, for the future, to give him space to lead the opposition at some point. Something is moving under all of this. PMLN may think it is secure because the top still has the personal hostility towards Khan, the top guy. But the personal hostility cannot stop the structural pressure forever. Pakistanis often think that the power is located in one office, but the office itself is created by circumstances, institutions, alignments, and pressures. When those things move, the office also moves. I understand Pakistan has a real opportunity. If Iran normalizes, Pakistan can benefit from the cheaper oil, the gas pipeline, the trade routes, the Gwadar, the CPEC, the regional connectivity. If China deepens its ties in Afghanistan and in Iran-linked strategy, Pakistan can become the central to the new regional order. If Gulf recalculates, Pakistan can again play a rebalancing role between Saudi and Iran. But none of this will automatically become economic relief. People talk about the military importance becomes the economic relief. But in Pakistan, that does not automatically become the national prosperity, sir. A defense pact does not automatically pay the debt. A few $1 billion in loans does not change the economy. A soldier posted abroad earning dollars is not the same as the military industrialized complex. Pakistan has often converted strategic importance into the personal arrangements, not the national transformation. And that is the tragedy.